Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Plant Pan here, and this is this week's video. I'm gonna show you some new stuff. I'm gonna show you some unusual stuff that you won't see it on anyone else's channel, at least not for houseplants, and some updates and some other stuff. But before we get started, you know the deal. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Think. And don't forget to subscribe if you have not, because that's what it's all about. Am I right? I'm right. Okay. Moving on. We have a bunch of things I want to show you, and I'm very excited for some of these, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's start with just an update. If you've been following, you know that I have transferred 2 different African violets from soil to water culture. And we have the, this is the wine color, and I believe this is the frilly pink. Yes. One thing that happened with the frilly pink is it didn't grow roots as quickly as the wine color. So the water got too low, it dried up a little bit, lost the outer leaves. But since then, I've been keeping an eye on it. We're getting some new roots. See the light colored roots in there? And we got a whole bunch of new leaves, a new crown in here. So these leaves are also pretty healthy, nice and firm. This one's just stained from a little bit of water damage there. But the new leaves all look very healthy. And no fertilizer yet. This one's gonna get fertilizer once it grows some more roots. But, you know, catching up, it's catching up. The other one, something interesting happened that I wanna share with you guys. I had the water level very high. It was at the base of the stem. And what happened was, because African violets have fur on their stems and leaves, the water was wicking up the stem and it was wetting all the new leaves. You could see these older new leaves. That doesn't make any sense, Paul. What are you saying? No, but some of these leaves, when they were new, were very wet. So they started to get like, I guess they started to get a little bit of rot on the edges. You can see there's like burn marks, like some dry edges. So I lowered the water, let it dry up a little bit, but the roots are doing a great job. As you can see, they're doing very good. And the new leaves that have come out since I decided to do that are nice and healthy and dry. So note to self and to all of you guys, if you want to do something like this for African violets, just make sure, any plant really that has furry stems and leaves, make sure that the water level is low enough that it's not wicking up moisture to the crown, because that's a sure way to get crown rot. And I almost got crown rot, but I caught it in time. So these things can be reversible. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So let me lift this up so you guys can see how these roots have started to take off. As you can see, they've only come from one side of that stem, but the roots are very extensive. So eventually, when I get more leaves, I'm going to continue to raise that water a little bit. The other good thing about it is when you don't have the water level too high, there is oxygen that circulates, or air with oxygen, that circulates around those roots. As you can see, there's like an inch or so that's exposed to the air. And that's what these plants love when in water culture, because you don't want to suffocate them. Anything that's used to having airy, well-draining soil can definitely benefit from an airspace, just to get some oxygen to the roots. Okay, okie dokie. So otherwise, this is continuing on. I'm glad that the new leaves that are coming in are looking healthy and not having any issues. It's really just these 2, really these 3, because this has a little bit of burn on the tip there. So it was those 3 but I'm glad I caught it. As these grow, as the crown produces new leaves, I am gonna take the older leaves off and propagate them, just to have backup, some leaf insurance. And like, especially the ones that are damaged, like this, nobody would ever want this leaf, right? And but I know I can make new plants out of that. So that's what we're going to do. So yeah, so this is the update on the African violets in water culture. And I don't know if I'm gonna keep them in water or if I'm gonna move them to semi-hydro. I don't know yet. I know they've done well for me in lava and leca, but they also do well in acrylic. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I will let you know. And if I do decide to do something other than water culture with these guys, I will do it with you guys. So you'll see what happens. Well, you'll see how I do it, and then you'll see the progress after. Because what's the use in showing you guys something if you don't see the results? You know what I mean? Anyone could show you anything, but if you don't see the results, How do you even know? You know what I mean? Anyway, African violets in water culture, finally they're turning the corner. Let's put it that way. All right, we have a newbie here. I got another new Rex begonia. These guys are so cool. They're fairly easy. Some people have problems with them because the watering can be tricky. Look at these colors though, my goodness gracious. Yeah, the watering can be tricky. Oh, and look, there we got some new growth in there, new leaves. Yay. But I wait for it to dry, not completely, but definitely not damp to the touch anymore, at least on the top of the soil, because it's still in soil. I know, I'm sinning right now. No, it's my own hang-ups with soil. But, but I wait for it to dry a little bit, and then I water it, and it has a wick. Where is the wick? There it is, you see it back there, right? So that definitely helps because I'm not watering from the top, I'm watering from the bottom, from the reservoir, and it's soaking up the moisture. So really nothing exciting to tell about this plant yet. I've had it for a couple weeks. I just haven't brought it into a video. I don't know why, but it's beautiful. And when I saw it, I said, you know what, I'm just gonna add this in because this video is gonna be all over the place. And I want you to see some color in addition to the other things that I'm showing you, right? But Rex begonia, if you have problems with them, problems propagating them, problems growing them, I have a bunch of videos on this channel where I've propagated them and I'm growing them in water, growing them in acrylic, all kinds of different unique things that I've done with them, and they do really well. So you can check back on the older videos or you'll see some new ones because I'm going to be taking you along for the ride. I can't get over these colors, just so cool. It's like somebody took a green leaf and splattered pink paint, like with a paintbrush, and went, wham, and they splattered it all over the place. It's just beautiful. These plants are just beautiful plants, right? All right, so that's that one. Moving on. You guys have seen this, but it hasn't been a while. It's been a while since you've seen it. This is my Peperomia incana. It is very soft and fuzzy leaves, which is unusual for Peperomia. I really love how they feel. Just very soft, like felt. Even softer than felt, actually, because felt gives me chills when I touch it. But look at how much this has grown. This has been doing really well. We've got new leaf growth. It's growing taller. This is an acrylic. Let's see if you can see the roots. There's some roots at the bottom there. You see that? There's a root there. So it's really enjoying this. I let the acrylic dry out almost completely. I don't want it to wilt because I don't want any of the roots to die, but I let it dry out so it's dry to the touch, at least on the top, just like I said for the Rex. And it's got Nutricoat fertilizer in here, slow release. And then I just fill it up to maybe a centimeter of reservoir at the bottom and wait for that to dry up and wait for it to feel dry, and then I will water it again. So I water this one every 2 to 3 weeks, let's say. It doesn't really need too much, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful Peperomia, not something that you come across very often. I had to get this on the internet because I don't think I've ever seen this in a local shop anywhere. Not in a mom and pop, not in a big box store, nothing. So yeah, I just wanted to share with you how it's doing because it's been a couple months since I've shown you this guy. Really cool, right? I could propagate like some of the older leaves, but I'm kind of leave it the way it is for now. If I need to, if something happens and it starts to go down, go south, I will take some leaves to propagate. But right now, just having one plant is good enough for me, right? Okay, put that one back. Oh, by the way, this one is in a north-facing window, so it's not getting very bright light, but it's in the window, so it has view of the sky. So that's usually what you would want, even if it is in a north-facing window. So it's getting very bright, but very, very indirect light. This is nowhere near a window, but it's close to LED lights, grow lights that I got that are really cool. I may put them in the link in my Amazon affiliate shop because these lights are really cool. They're working out really well. And it's on a stand, so you can adjust the height. And it has arms, 3 arms with rings that can move around so you can angle the light in different ways. Really cool. I really like it. And these guys are just under LEDs in a different area. All right, moving on. You know, I got to show you one of my favorites, right? This is my Silver Crest Plectranth. This is another one. These were cuttings that I took. Just plopped them in some acrylic. Look at those roots. They love this. I've taken so many cuttings and put them in acrylic that I have like 4 or 5 little plants like this, just growing in acrylic, rooting up like nuts, using the NutriCoat fertilizer, loving life. This one is in full sun throughout the day. It's in a south-facing window, but I have others that aren't, and they're just a little bit more, I guess you could say leggy. They trail more because they're, you know, reaching for the light. But since these are getting enough light, they're really not trailing, but they're starting to bush out. There's a lot of growth at the base, and it's just a really cool looking plant. Also, soft to the touch, because you know I love the textures with the leaves. Very soft, and also very pretty. And when they get enough light, these guys have the deep purple flower spikes, which pollinators love. So I'm very excited for this to just be. I just love looking at it. I don't need it to do anything except survive, live, thrive, and, you know, just make me happy. That's all. So Plectranthus silvicrest. Moving on, here we have another Plectranthus. Now this is just a cutting that I had taken. It's grown a lot. It was about 2 inches tall when I stuck it in here into the acrylic, and it has grown a lot, as you can see. The leaves have a really cool smell. I think I showed you the mother plants very, very early on when I first got the plant. This is duckfoot Plectranthus. I can't seem to find the Latin name, the species name for it anywhere. Probably because it's some sort of a weird hybrid. They don't know what the parentage is, but I think that this is, oh, it smells so good. It's just really cool. Let's see if we can see any roots. Oh yeah, plenty of roots in here. See them all going crazy? I'm telling you, a lot of these plants love growing in acrylic. There's a lot of oxygen, air pockets. It holds on to moisture. The only thing that could be an issue if you're gonna grow, I know a lot of people are growing it in acrylic yarn now, like I am, which is great. I think it's fantastic because, as you can see, well, other plants that have grown for a longer time, they do great in it. The only thing that's a downside to this is if you want to transfer it out of the acrylic, you're going to have some root loss because the roots entangle into the acrylic. But the way that I feel is I put them in acrylic for long-term growing. I don't just propagate them in here. If I'm going to propagate a plant and I want to be able to move it into another medium, I'll just propagate it in water. But putting them in the acrylic and keeping them here long-term, they do fantastic. They do excellent, especially Plectranthus. Obviously Peperomia, Tradescantia, the Politas, the Purple Hearts, the Blue Sues, Green Queen, all of those do exceptionally well in acrylic yarn, as well as African Violets that I've grown in there, and I've also grown Rex Begonias in acrylic. So there are a lot of plants that actually enjoy and thrive in there, as long as you give them enough light. It doesn't have to be direct light, but enough light, enough moisture, and fertilizer. So since this has been rooting up in here for a couple months, I'd say, I can probably put in some NutriCoat. So I'm going to put in some slow release pellets from NutriCoat. And if you're interested in it, there's a link in the bio, not bio, in the description of the video where you can find it on Amazon. Alrighty. I love these plants. And the thing that's really cool about growing in acrylic is, look, nothing happens when you turn it upside down because the acrylic grips onto the inside of the vessel and the roots are all entwined, so the plant doesn't come out and neither does the acrylic. Really easy. And if it happens to fall over, no mess. Just pick it back up. So easy, right? Same thing with this one. Ta-da! No problems. Lots of roots. I love these roots. So if this gets a little crazy, I know I'm back to this one again, but I'm just going to explain something. If this gets crazy with roots to the point where you can't even see the acrylic anymore, then I can pull this out and repot it into a slightly larger cup or jar or whatever with more acrylic. That's what I would do because that's what I've been doing for the plants that outgrow the containers that they're in. But look at this, healthy roots. And the acrylic is just damp enough to keep the roots happy, healthy, but hydrated and aerated. It's like this really interesting combination of things that I stumbled on with this, that they just thrive. They really just thrive. Look at how cool. Oh, I love these plants. I love these plants so much. Okay, I gotta calm down, guys, because I'm not gonna get through the rest of this video. And there's one more plant. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Okay, this looks like a strawberry, right? And it sort of is, but it's not a regular strawberry. This is called Indian strawberry, and I will put the scientific name in the description only because I ran out of time and I forgot to look it up because I can never remember it, but it's known as Indian strawberry, mock strawberry. These are evergreen ground covers, and they trail and root at the nodes as the plant grows. This is all one plant right now, and this has grown a lot actually. I've got a bunch of new leaves in here since I put it into lava rock. And I would have put this in acrylic, but I didn't know how it would do. I didn't even know how it would do in lava or leco, in semi-hydro in general, because I've never tried growing it in that method. I tried growing it in soil in the house, never worked out. The soil would rot, probably because I got these locally outdoors. But yeah, this was dormant outside in the cold because it's still winter here. But it woke up once I put it in semi-hydro, and we've got a bunch of new leaves. Cool thing about this, it has yellow flowers, while normal strawberries, regular strawberries that we eat, have white flowers with yellow centers, and the strawberries come after. These have yellow flowers, and the berries look like strawberries, very similar, except it does look different. If you want to take a look, go do a search on Indian strawberry on the internet, and you'll see what I mean. The berries are like upright instead of hanging down, and they have like bumps, almost like pimples all around them. They're kind of bland. They don't have a lot of flavor, not very sweet like the regular strawberries. They're not inedible, they're edible, but just don't have too much of it, because I think that somebody said that when they had like 2 handfuls of them, which I don't recommend, they kind of got intestinal cramps or something like that. Don't quote me, it wasn't me. I never tried it, but I will taste them when they do have some berries, but just so that I can say that I did. But so far, this plant is doing just fine. I have Nutricoat in here as well, slow release fertilizer pellets in the semi-hydro. Ooh, is this a new crown? It's growing a new crown. See that new leaf there? That's a crown, because the main crown is in here. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, let me calm down. I'm breathing. Okay. So this is doing well. It's under LED lights. It's not in a windowsill. I wanted to have a controlled environment as much as possible, where I'm controlling the light and the distance from the light and the temperature, because I didn't know what to expect. But as you can see, the plant is doing just fine. So have a little bit of water in the reservoir. Let's see what the roots look like. Where are the roots? There they are. Look at those roots. They're doing well. We've got rootage. So yeah, apparently Indian strawberry, mock strawberry, whatever you want to call it, does well in semi-hydro and under LED lights. So, oh God, I love plants so much. I need to calm down. All right. So if you have any questions on any of these plants, leave a message. I will get back to you. As long as I know there's a message, I always respond. I love talking to you guys. It really makes my day, my week, my month, my year. So please, please, please don't be shy. Reach out, say hi. Ooh, it rhymes. I'm a poet. But yeah, reach out. We will talk. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell if you want to be notified, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.